And we are live once again, Quarter Life Critics. I am sitting here today with my two best friends, Grant
What up?
and Patrick.
Yo.
And as you all know, every other week, every time we get together virtually in this virtual room, we like to discuss some of the best TV and film the world has to offer. And we haven't done it in a while, so are there any sponsors, you guys? Endorsements?
Yeti.
Yeti. Oh, nice.
Shout
out
out.
to Yeti. Look at that.
And Patagonia.
Keeping you hydrated and warm.
Californian white wine.
Get all of them. California white wine.
Shout out to Tim Cook at Apple.
Oh, Tim Apple. He's doing well. He's keeping us connected.
Yeah.
And Grant's he's
Coca-Cola.
looking for your contracts. Coca-Cola. We got
That's all I got.
Coca-Cola.
Hydro Flask.
I have an anti-sponsor, guys.
Well, you know what? I got sponsored.
All right.
What do you got? What do you got?
No, you do the anti-sponsor, then I'll do the sponsor.
Ghost Path VPN, as we might
Boo.
get into later.
Yeah.
But who's your last sponsor?
Well, why is that an anti-sponsor? Do
Well,
VP or N?
You'll have to find out. It's a tease. Donkey Kong.
Nintendo.
Donkey Kong.
That's
Look at those
cute.
boulder shoulders.
Did you win that in
Yes.
a crane machine?
No, I bought him.
Why'd you get Donkey Kong?
Because I play that. He's the guy I play in Mario Kart in Mario Party.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. You like the heavy?
But not Smash
Yeah.
Bros.
I'll play him in Smash. I like if I'm up a stock, then I'll do the thing where I grab him and we'll both jump off the edge.
It's like having bad fucking
That doesn't feel good.
flashbacks of
Of me
just Grant just
obliterating you.
obliterating me, and I'm just saying again, in a very sad, sadistic manner.
It's like I remember I would turn on too. Like if it got close, then I would just focus up. And so we'd be tied or you'd be winning,
sweating.
and then I'd focus up and I just win.
And it just
you'd be
wasn't
like,
funny. I mean,
"Fuck."
it was like I was in hell, and it just had to happen over and over and over. And Grant's like, "Oh, we can go do something else." It's like, nope, let's play again.
I have to beat my task,
That's good. That kind of attitude is what got you a job in this marketplace.
What, playing games?
Don't give up.
Don't
Keep
give
on
up. That's
going
right.
at
You have a can-do
gotta
attitude.
it. Can-do attitude.
You can't give up.
You
gotta
get
just-
dropped into hell and you say, "Give me another."
another one.
Speaking of giving up, we this week we're watching a film from the Cleveland International Film Fest. It is called Sam
And this
Now.
week our director is Grant Farmer. He's going to guide us through this discussion. Just wanted to put that out there. So every week we have someone to direct us. Go ahead, Grant.
Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, so this week we are watching Sam Now, a 2022 film from the Cleveland International Film Fest. A brief synopsis. I was trying to do a nice segue in there, but so as the synopsis for this film is: as kids, brothers Sam and Reed spend much of their time making movies in their backyard, movies about superheroes, bandits, robots, and anything else their imaginative brains came up with. But underneath their stories of action and adventure lay a mystery and a family secret waiting to be unearthed. The question of what happened to Sam's mom, who up and vanished years ago, seemingly without a trace. Determined to find answers, the boys decide to set aside their fictional fantasies and turn the cameras onto their reality. 25 years later, we have The Gift of Sam Now, a beautiful coming of age meets mystery documentary filled with family interviews, gorgeous Super 8 footage from the boys' many film projects then and now, and personal reflections centered on the evolution of relationships and brotherhood through the decades. Directed by Reed Harkness, so it's about the Harkness family. Awards: it won Best Documentary at Indie Memphis. It won Best Documentary Feature at the School of Art, Creativity, Art and Design, Savannah Film Festival. The winner, it won Zurich, the documentary competition, and the Zurich Film Festival, and it won the Best Documentary Feature in Bend Film, and was nominated for Doc NYC and nominated for Hot Docs. which is in Canada.
And those aren't physicians.
Regarding those awards, Grant, did it win anything at the Cleveland Film Festival?
It did not. It was nominated, but it did
Okay.
not win.
Is it just best documentary? Is that the category, or something like that?
Yes, I think Best Director's on there. There's an award. There's something called People's Choice Award, which any film can get, and it's just like a populist vote. The other films are the critics and judges. There's
critics.
judges, yeah.
Okay, just curious.
But yeah, so I think this was this. You guys usually don't watch Film Fest indie films. So I've grown up, gone to the International Film Festival at Cleveland many times, more than I can count, and I'm used to, there's a lot of films that you're exposed to that are good, great, unique, international, and then a bunch of them are bad and not worth watching whatsoever. Yeah, so I feel like they have a different pacing and really just a different, I don't know, watching experience altogether as a commercial Hollywood film. So you guys, maybe first, Quinn, Patrick,
Yeah.
how was it getting access and setting up the watching of this film? Was that painful? Painless?
Shout out to our anti-sponsor.
Our anti-sponsor. So we had a little bit of a dilemma. So Grant, you went to the film festival, all right? You had your butt in a seat, ticket paid for. You
Yes,
watched
yes,
this
sir.
film with people around you. Patrick, I could not make it. Couldn't catch a flight. Patrick, we don't know what he was doing. Could have been busy, rock climbing, doing whatever. So we had to find an alternative way to watch this film. Luckily, they have virtual tickets.
Well, this was a reason also why it was chosen. I wanted my my faraway friend
To be able
to watch this.
Unfortunately, Grant didn't read the fine print where it said Ohio stream only.
streams only, yeah.
And I tried to call their bluff. I said, you just put it up there. It's whatever. I'm going to buy a ticket. Check it out. Ran into the first roadblock. Bam. They know I'm not in Ohio. Ah, shit. So I was unable to watch it that way. Well, then I got smart. I go, what do people do when they want to watch things in another region that you're not in?
A virtual private network.
VPN. Only little problem there. Not a lot of VPNs have Ohio servers.
Crazy.
So you select the city, that you want to connect to, and I only found one that was able to had one in Columbus. So not a lot of data storage going on in Cleveland, their servers.
Interesting.
But unfortunately, there too hit another roadblock. They knew. Well, I mean, what's the point of a VPN if they know you're on a VPN, right? Like I didn't know.
Yeah, how is that? How? Maybe because they know that there's only one VPN they can give you Ohio access, and they
know
blocked.
they know it's a proxy. I think they know it's not the. I don't know if they can tell that I'm in California at that point, but they know it's not originally from
Authentically
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah. So, can't other streaming services do that and just restrict VPNs? But maybe it's too much of a hassle to. It's kind of like password sharing. Once you crack down on it, you cripple some legitimate use cases, but a small film festival just says, you know what, screw it. We'll take that restriction for integrity. So in the end, me and Mr. Patrick over there, we had a little bit of a date, and
Maybe
we,
maybe it's because like that won the Memphis Film Fest. Maybe they also stream it and they want like their own revenue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fully internationally released. So I like Cleveland Film Fest is pretty early in the year. I watched a collection of shorts, and it was the international premiere for two of the films there. So it's definitely Yeah, that's definitely plausible.
Yeah, I enjoyed our date, Quinn. Nice little.
Yeah, it actually
Yeah, so
worked out
I'm
well.
curious, how did that? Yeah, I feel like watching someone says we're watching a movie together stream. That to me sounds like hell and sounds like it's probably not good. But it sounds like you were able to
Luckily,
work.
we were Discord Nitro members.
Shout out to our other sponsor, Discord.
Able to
Nice.
stream at a higher quality than usual. So I had no problems. Sounded fine, looked fine.
You guys pause, say, "Hey, Pat, I got piss."
Nope.
Forrest turned off the computer.
Oh yeah, there was a point. Yeah, it froze. I go, oh, I wonder if Pat paused it. And
And then does diddle and
Yeah,
Pat
exactly.
disconnects. Yeah,
Forrest turned off my computer again.
that's fun. Well, I'm glad you guys had a date.
Yeah,
because
no, I
cinema
mean-
is supposed to bring people together. You guys
I
had
talked-
a true cinematic viewing.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the
popcorn.
beginning and then I kind of shut up. It didn't seem like a film where you would, actively chime in.
No,
We were
that's
texting
the
each
one
other
thing.
here.
Yeah,
there.
texting felt more safe.
Yeah. Or like me and my girlfriend when we were watching it, it'd be like, you look at eyes. They say something, and you're
And you
like,
make out.
no.
Yeah, this movie got my
Yeah, well-
juices flowing.
Yeah.
Say,
Damn, I love narcissists.
you're like, will you be my Joyce?
Will you
Yeah.
be my Gosselin, Professor
So
Gosselin?
Yeah.
that access aside, you guys watched the film together. It seems like you ironed out all the kinks. You watch it, you're texting each other back and forth. The viewing experience, the Indie Film Fest indie documentary. There's only 36 reviews on their IMDb. What'd you think? Not about maybe the movie content, but about the indie kind of film experience.
I thought it was very well produced. I mean, it seemed like something that could be a big budget, big production film. Like if you told me that it was a small team, I mean, or a AAA team, I think I would have believed it. Yeah, not counting the content of the film, but yeah, those were my thoughts. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, I felt polished. Like it wasn't like it didn't really feel like a home movie. I definitely felt like they took their time with it and
I don't know
cleaned it
how
up.
they're upscaling, those old pieces of film or footage from like 1990 to
Yeah,
2000.
yeah.
I mean, those looked like they could have been filmed 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
so,
that was impressive.
negatives is pretty. Actually, that's what they do. I used to go to the film festival in Columbus, and it was all about like restoring film, and actually film negatives are insanely high quality. Like you can get a film negative and take any, even if it was filmed in 1920, you can get if you have the film negative, you can make it 4K, and it's pretty crazy.
What about the sound though? Sometimes
Yeah, the
is that
sound. Yeah.
But sometimes, like I remember, there was a scene when they were just replaying a small clip of like him like walking on the beach or Sam walking on the beach, and it seemed like they only had the sound to that conversation when he first talks to his mom, and they were just replaying a short clip. So it seemed in some cases they just had the audio, but the audio sounded fine to me. And most of the time,
Yeah. So you guys agree that the production quality was professional.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the content, like, does this feel like a film you would stumble upon on Netflix or a major streaming service? Because to me, well, I'm curious.
you want to start, Pat?
I don't know. I feel like Netflix doesn't have like super like. I feel like Netflix original movies, unless they're like going all out, are like below this. Honestly, like it's like made in like a month with some random stuff. So I would say it's above like a Netflix fast cash grab movie. But definitely
Nice.
below. but it definitely felt like a like the I don't know, like my 500-pound life kind of style. Like,
TLC.
yeah, TLC, where it's like you kind of go into this family where like someone's got an issue and no one wants to talk about it, and you're like, I don't know, just like shining a spotlight on it, and it's like felt like no one really wanted to be there, and they
At
didn't
least-
really resolve any problems, and it was just
Yeah.
like I don't know, it was a little
It's
odd.
like a little investigative, and it was also very intimate. I feel like the documentaries you often see on Hulu, Netflix, whatever, it's about Kobe, or about the Lakers, and you're like, versus this is like a super intimate. Just it's about their family, It doesn't go beyond that. It's not trying to go beyond that. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of impromptu filmings, and what did we watch? The Rescue, where they had the rights to the divers, and those people knew they were probably going to be filmed for a while. You build up your story, you retake dialogue or stories that need to be repeated for dramatic effect or whatever, and a lot of this is.
You refilm, you recreate scenes.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
And this is just like, oh, yeah, we guess we could do that. I don't know. A lot of uhs. Which is genuine, but doesn't make for that entertaining of a watch. You kind of want to be told a story. You're like, tell me a story versus like, yeah, she left. Yeah, I don't know. Sure, maybe I want to see her. Uh-huh. It's like something when you like news reporters, they interview people that are like involved in certain things, and they're obviously just they went through such a crazy experience, but they're just not equipped to like tell that story.
Yeah, they're not storyteller, right?
Right.
And they're not hiring storytellers for this, Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's an expose, it's a memoir, right? Into their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Patrick?
And it felt like there weren't like. I was kind of interested at the beginning because they were talking about like how Sam wanted to put together movies, and he was criticizing Sam's vision because Sam was just like saying a bunch of and then this, and then that, and then this, and I was like, oh, like there's gonna be some like cool shit where it's like, it doesn't need to be a sequence of just like random events. It's gonna be like linked with like direct consequences. You don't need to like share that. But then it just turned out like I felt like it was just like, and then, and then, and then, like I didn't feel like there was any like
Yeah.
I don't know, continuity.
But
like,
it's also it's hard because it's real life too. I don't know if you guys have seen that famous film Boyhood. I think it's similar where it's like 18 years of footage or something.
I remember
of a
it,
kid
yeah.
growing up. I never saw it.
I never saw it.
But I remember it was a kind of a big deal. This seems similar. It's almost stream of conscious. It's very wandering of a film. Yeah, like I think both you guys were kind of getting at.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I wanted to jump into the content too much. We're talking about indie film experience, but yeah, I mean, they find the mom 12 years ago. And I was like, why did this need to be released now? Like, what happens next?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
so
kinda
that-
get into that.
Yeah, I want to touch on that, but let's hold that thought before we dive into the mystery kind of part of the film. Let's talk about the general content of this woman, Joyce, forgetting and forgiveness. So, what what are you guys feeling through when you're watching this film with this woman? Are you guys sympathizing with her at all? Are you despising her? What are some of these texts that are going back and forth between you guys on
I'm
during the
I'm
movie?
scrolling up.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. But
Quinn, you
for
can go first.
yeah. I don't have a lot of empathy, sympathy for this woman Joyce. So what Joyce did, I mean, correct me if I get any of these facts wrong. So she's already separated from her husband. They're divorced or whatever. They're not in a committed relationship. But they have these children, and at one point she just leaves. First of all, first thing I was extremely desiring in the film was kind of an in-depth look at like what does leaving look like. I mean, nobody's like everyone just says, "Yeah, she left." What is the time of day? What's leading up to that? Anything that's leading up to that? What's the attempts to get her in contact look like? I mean, nobody really went into that at all. They just
They
said
didn't
she
want
left.
to. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to explain the whole movie, but she basically leaves, doesn't say a word, basically abandons her children. And I did not feel the film's kind of getting into this generational trauma with the cycle of things.
Yeah, with
but
her parents, right?
Right, but I thought it failed in the sense that it did a lot of, when you write an essay, some people might say like show, don't tell. I felt like there was a lot of telling in this film where somehow at the end it was like, I have trauma too. And I don't know where that, there was no evidence or no
with
deep
Joy.
dives. With Joy, yeah.
Well, I think that was on purpose.
Sure, it can be on purpose.
I think that's everyone else was in the same boat where it's like now that she's done some wrong, now she's bringing up and talking about some trauma, and you're like, what? Wait, I mean, I can empathize with that, but this doesn't necessarily excuse you.
Yeah, I don't think she ever took responsibility for her issues or wanted to mend the potential problems she might have caused. So
It's a hiccup.
I didn't care for
She
her.
had to. She had to, Quinn.
She was bored.
Yeah. What did you think, Pat?
I texted Quinn, and I think this, just sits with what I feel like. I said, this movie is incel propaganda. Women bad. I felt like, I don't know. It's just like, obviously she's horrible. She's, doesn't make any sense when she's talking, and she's just, delusional.
Yeah.
It might have been better for the kids that she was out of the picture based on what she was like when she was with them. And it's just like, I don't know. It made me just feel bad for
the yeah.
Yeah, for the kids,
Everyone
for the
else,
dad,
yeah.
for everyone. I'm just like, this
Especially
is horrible.
what was the name? Was it Jared?
Jared, yeah.
Poor guy, And I think he missed her so much that he, forgave her quick.
They all talk in these high level abstractions and healing and fixing me. No one's ever getting into the nitty gritty of what's going on. She's lying about memories when she was 12. She was 1 or something. She's like, I remember
In
being
Japan.
outside and it was dark. It's very I feel like a fortune teller vibes where they're just I mean, she was doing the fucking or who was that? That was his mom who was doing the tarot card readings.
The tarot
everyone in the
cards.
family is a little out there.
Except, shout out to Grandma. Not Joyce's
And her-
mother, but
and
the
her
other mother. She was
Their
so
dad's
nice.
mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like she
Okay.
just had such a grateful and just a very interesting worldview where you can just I don't know, see and empathize with people wherever they go. And I just thought that was so sagely, and I just really respected pretty much everything that came out of her mouth. And I was very surprised that by, I don't know, I shout out to Grandma.
Yeah. I thought their family was, they highlighted how supportive and nice their dad's family was. Like when their cousin, or probably cousin,
George.
I think.
George, the gamer?
The
Number
gamer.
5.
Yeah, he got bit. I wish they told you what game it was.
It's not important.
But
And
yeah, they
Reed
were
fucking
so
crashed
supportive.
his party, dude.
Yeah, he did.
To
Did
talk
you
about
guys
some
text
lame.
that?
Yeah, I did. We said.
You said something about it.
Quinn said, "Fuck yeah, George," and I said, "MLG protege." Quinn said, "That's a lot of Sprite. Parents are so done with it. Where's dessert?" And I said, "Hell of a speech, kid." And then Quinn said, "This is George's party." And I said, "He got 5th place."
Yeah, I mean, he's giving this like emotional, like you could see it. He's like breaking down. He can't talk, and parents are like, "It's okay, Reed."
And he's not saying anything.
Are you done?
He's really emotional. He's really emotional for sure.
And they're just like, "Yeah, that's you could sit out."
But it's like nobody gets angry in the film. Like they either ignore it or they're generally nice. I mean, out of the dad, the brothers, the sons, the family members, I mean, no one's like pissed. I mean, I would be upset.
Dude, if my wife who ditched me showed up like 12 years later on my door unannounced, I'd be like,
Get the
"You
fuck
can't
out.
come in my house.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're gonna ruin my day." Like,
Yeah.
You said
I
you
don't
were
wanna
done
talk to you.
years ago. You're done.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. You woke me up. For
So
this.
the forgiveness title above is not.
You have to apologize. No,
Yeah.
you can forget. I mean, I just
She
feel like,
did
I wanna
waltz
move
in like
past it.
nothing. She was like, it was so organic. You know, we just went for breakfast and I was with the boys, and then, you know, they mentioned coming over to your place.
So I thought it'd be a good idea. And
We just bopped on over.
You're like, I don't care. He
Yeah.
also was ambushed. Bro was in his PJs.
He just woke up.
they're like, "This is
Yeah.
what we do in our family. We just show up."
They didn't
Sometimes
say
we
that.
don't for years.
Even what was I gonna say? The mom, the dad. Oh, I with forgiveness and forgetting, there was a loose connection in the flash forward when he's dealing with his relationship problems that I just wasn't buying. Where
Sam.
he was like, yeah, he was like, "Oh, I just went through like a rough patch with my significant other," and he's blaming her. And I don't.
He wasn't
I would like to
blaming her.
just
He was
have
tra-
something.
he was traumatized by his, upbringing.
Or is that just? But is that just working
feelings of
backwards? I
abandonment.
mean, everyone has a bad relationship. I don't know if it's a cycle of.
You're saying it's stifling his development to think that way?
Yeah, it's you're working backwards. Like this bad thing happened, and you're trying to analyze like why did this bad thing happen to me, and you just pick something that may or may not be correlated, thus invalidating this cycle of trauma, cycle of
Yeah.
destiny.
It gives you like an excuse for why you.
Yeah, you're like, I can't help it. That's how my mom was.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to just give an excuse. I think with therapy, it's like, I think
Gets to the bottom of it.
he's just starting to see things that his mom did. He's like, wait, this is like unhealthy, and I think he's scared and he doesn't want to be like her. So he's like, it's like this reminds me of what happened, what she did, and I don't want it to happen. I want to do better than her.
That's fair.
I don't know. I empathized with Sam the most. I liked Sam.
Seemed like a cool guy.
Yeah. Ultimate
Grew up to be
Frisbee
ultimate
champ.
Frisbee. Yeah, he was like coaching too. He got real into big volunteer, big coach. Yeah, he was,
Yeah.
Jared, what did he make open a coffee shop?
Yeah.
I like how they let him speak at his graduation or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like a super.
Yeah. Well, so
Yep.
next segment here, I call it defying expectations. So I read the synopsis to everyone. I read the synopsis before we watched this. You watched the film, and his Quinn was saying, it's really the whole film is framed around this childhood movie of what happened to Joyce, what happened to Sam's mom, and it just doesn't take that long. That storyline kind of trails
She's
off.
banging other dudes.
Yeah, she's a few states away. There she is. And so,
name Googling like I'm so close to the answer.
yeah, and I think even just reading the synopsis, let me quote this. They said, it's a beautiful coming of age meets mystery documentary. I didn't really feel like it was a mystery. I thought the majority of the film was about family trauma, not mystery. Would you guys agree?
I thought she was.
Yes.
I thought it was a murder mystery, and they were going at it like podcasters, like true crime podcasters to figure it out. And I was a little disappointed that it was the
Even
biopic
like
of trauma.
I wanted some podcasts like Crime Hunters, and all I got was a bucket of family trauma and narcissism.
Come here,
A lot of
this is our
baggage.
shed. This is our shed. Look, there are some footprints over there.
Like
I
the
don't
first 10 or 15 minutes, it's like we called the cops and asked them to look, and they found her. You're like, okay.
She did not want anything to do with this. So weird.
I mean, it sounded like people knew this like professor affair. Not, I guess it's not an affair because she wasn't together with the other person, but he was in the picture. I mean, she was going on trips to other countries. What do you tell your family then? You would say, hey, when she went to London or whatever with
Study
this
abroad,
professor,
Quinn.
what did you know about that?
If anyone ever talked about Emily the way that waiter talked about her, I would be a little like, I would just be so sus. I'd be like, that is not like, I feel like there's some cracks in our foundation because this man is like, you're giving some signals.
Beautiful woman.
The floor.
She was
dresses.
she was the only one that at work.
told
I
me.
was the only one that she felt comfortable around to talk to about this stuff. She couldn't tell her family, so she told me.
Joyce was banging other dudes. Started. Yeah, I don't know.
Joyce got bored. She didn't want her kids. She wanted.
Was it boredness? I mean, now I'm thinking about it. Like, what?
No, I mean, I feel like she was overwhelmed.
With what
And
though?
Being bold.
Having kids. Yeah.
No, but they're already like grown up. They're like 15.
Too many videos. Just get that
There's
thing on my
too
face.
many.
She went through a long decade and a half to finally say, you know what, I'm out.
I think is the narcissism. I think she probably got interest in like the professor was interested in her or something. It was like, you're special. And she's like, yeah, you're right. I always felt like I was fucking special. Fuck this family. I'm better. I can do better things. And then she didn't do anything better.
She's not with the husband though. Like, I don't understand why you have to disappear. Why you have
Was
to
she
cut off
not?
contact with her
Was she
kids.
not with the husband?
No, they separated. So I think they were just doing visits between Randy and her.
That is weird.
So weird, dude.
So then you and like she probably could just, yeah, like there's probably no
It's really just, like-
obligations. They didn't take her to court, so like she just saw them when she wanted to see them,
Yeah.
and then she just left.
I'm
Just
out.
a shitty person,
Yeah, like your kids. Like plus, like I feel
kids.
like
Your
I feel like if you know, and that's why it's like you empathize for just a second about her like upbringing. But I feel like
Nope.
everyone I know who's had childhood trauma, everyone has like some childhood, like you know, it affects them. But like you, like oftentimes, if you're a good person, you go above and beyond to make sure your kid doesn't go through any of that trauma. You protect them from the trauma that you went through. Instead, you know, she was so traumatized, and then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna inflict lifelong trauma on my children too, like by leaving them for 2 years.
Plus, her family seemed fine. Like they weren't like they didn't seem like. I didn't believe it.
It's just weird, man. I mean, you can't even tell anything. They walk into a room, it's filled with like a million stuffed animals.
Their family was a little fucking weird.
I,
And you're like, what's going on here? Nobody's saying anything meaningful.
it would be really weird, like, to be interviewed about this, though, about your like estranged daughter who left this kid who you don't really know, like, but they're asking you questions like, "Hey, why'd my mom leave me?" You're like, "Well, she's kind of a shitty daughter, to be honest. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I would be like, I don't know. I could kind of see why it'd be a weird interview.
And she got adopted at like age 3 or something. She wasn't older when she got adopted, right?
No, she was
said
young.
18
I think,
months, right?
Yeah, I think younger than 3.
Okay.
Like,
At least that's when she was
She's like,
given
I
up.
was gonna go back to eating fish heads. Like, you don't even know what the hell you ate. What are you talking about? You don't even know what word in Japanese.
Konnichiwa.
But it's yeah.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
there's something there. I mean, you project. You try and think of what your parents went through and stuff like that. But still, yeah, I don't know what compels you to say you are. If she was with the husband, I get it. Kind of get it there. You want to start a new life. You want to run away. You got to cut people off. But you're already cut off. You can just meet a new guy and get on the telephone. Ring a ring
I'm
ring.
moving. Or you
Going to
could even
Seattle.
move.
You can just move.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll see you later. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, my final segment about the film is lasting impressions. So we've been kind of talking, you know, about the film for a while, but anything that stuck most with you about this film? Anything, I'd say like uniqueness, you know, kind of relating back to the first segment. I think this film, this documentary was unique. You know, that entertainment value is probably less, more of an intimate memoir experience. I think those are qualities of an indie documentary, or you know, or more likely to be qualities of an indie documentary than a commercial one. Lasting impressions. You know, you guys watched this film, and I watched it. A while, I don't know, a week, like longer. You guys watched it recently, right? Like the day or two ago. So your lasting impressions will be different from mine. I guess I'll start. I really the only thing I took away is I was like, yeah, that lady sucked. Like, I was
That
like
lady.
she was
Not a
shitty.
good
like,
person.
Not a good
Refuse
person.
to admit, take any
Um,
responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah, I said. You know, I thought it caused you to self-reflect. I thought it was good in terms of empathy and her actions, like especially when they were like I did empathize a bit with her, just like being overwhelmed and wanting to leave. But like I missed that separation piece, which is like, you don't have to. It's just the way she does it. I don't know. Like you can feel overwhelmed and take a break and not do what she did. But I thought it was very intimate. It was cool to see that sort of like close up on a family.
You know who they
But yeah,
didn't talk
what's-
to? That new guy.
Yeah,
I
professor.
wonder what he was. Yeah, if he had any part in any of this, where maybe he didn't like that she had children, and he met her like later in life, and you know, let's just have a life together instead of a family. I don't want to even think about your kids.
Yeah, I don't want to be in their life.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I feel like someone who's a college professor likes developing youth.
Young minds.
Maybe, yeah, like just a thought, but
I'm just saying he was omitted. They did
Yeah.
not go through him. It's weird. I'm trying to think of what would stick with me. I went into it like you. I mean, you think about these films that have footage from like multiple decades, and I was interested in the mystery part. Mystery was a bust. Just kind of turned into a bad reality TV show. And
So okay. So but you said it was professionally done. Were
Yeah.
You just when you say bad reality TV show, can you expand on that point there?
it's where if you're familiar with any TLC type reality TV shows, there's like one or two pieces of drama, and they kind of stretch that out over an hour, and you think like you're getting more tea, more interesting things, but nothing really happens, and nobody
They're
has anything
taking
good
the
to say.
cup of tea and they're pouring it in this other cup, and then they're taking that cup and
There's the
pouring
next
both
person.
in one cup, and then we're pouring it in cups, and they're moving the cups around, and then they're like, "Look at all this tea!" And
Look at
you're
all
like,
this tea.
It's just one cup of tea.
It's still one cup of tea, and I guess I'll watch the next episode. There might be some new tea, and there's shitty people, and you just put them together. Usually, a good reality TV show is more fun because people get crazy and do crazy shit. But this one's more like introspective and like, oh, what did she really think? Did we really get her back?
Yeah.
So, what stuck with me? Yeah, I liked a lot of the animations. I liked the home films a lot. I thought those were really impressive, and I remember when they were like driving across the country and they had the little car, and he was the
On the map.
Blue Panther.
Blue Panther,
Blue Panther.
which is like kind of racist propaganda against the Black Panthers, like cop.
Yeah, is the Blue Panther police officer?
I'm
A
back to
little
blue.
alarming, Sam. A little alarming.
So,
Patrick.
yeah, it's introspective.
The grandma
Patrick.
will stick with me. The ability to, just understand that everyone's needs, are so unique and so different from your own, and being able to like take yourself out of the moment and accept that is just something that is so rare, I think, and really, something I would like to incorporate more in my own life, just I don't know, thought she was so impressive.
I want to challenge you on this a little bit because I
Yes.
feel like the grandmother probably was the most empathetic, forgiving to Joyce. So are you saying you strive to be able to forgive?
This is the
someone
one with the
Do
black
you
shirt?
forgive?
Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I do. I don't know. Because I feel
That's-
it's like anger for her. But I'm like, I don't need to be angry at her. Like, she didn't do anything to me. She's just trying. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
I admire it, but I don't know.
And
if
also,
I ever have it.
I felt that too. I felt like these points of empathy, which I think the film did a good job about. Like when I said self-reflecting, it's like, she was gone for 2 years, and that's a long time. But like, it's not that long if you're an adult and you're overwhelmed, and maybe you're feeling and you're feeling like, I don't know, just you can't handle things. Quentin-
2 years is a long time to
2 years is a long
disappear,
time.
and she did
It
not.
is, it is.
It was going to be like 20 years if the boys didn't do anything.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
literally have to like be hunted down.
Yeah, well, I'm just, there were points. There was
There's no
definitely
internet.
points. I know, but there were points when I was watching this where, like, you feel like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense, and then you're like, wait, no. Like, I don't know. She didn't seem. She seemed a little off and a little like troubled.
Yeah, she didn't make any sense when she was talking ever. Like definitely like deranged. I was like, did she join a cult? Was kind of thinking that she joined a cult and like was kind of cut off from her family. Maybe she did. She's kind of doing the whole like making a reserve, like of living off the grid, their little greenhouse garden, whatever. But
I think it's just a garden, bro.
you don't know. But I don't know. I think
I'm
you
just-
admire qualities in others that like maybe you don't have, or like, I don't know. It's just like you just see something that's very different from what you would normally expect. And I expected like anger, retribution, you know, making it right, and she just like
There was none of that. It was
put it
like
all aside and
forgiveness,
just all love.
Yeah, and move on and talk and be in the present. Yeah, yeah.
Which I just thought was
And
admirable.
that is admirable. I feel you.
Is it?
It doesn't hurt anything.
I think it's because it's family. It gets tricky. You know, you
Like if-
can't say.
You don't want to be the stick in the mud now. You don't want to be the one that like bans her, right? Like I think that's. Is that what you're gonna say, Quinn? Or what were you
I
gonna
mean,
say?
in similar fashion, yeah. I think many people deal with shitty family members, just shitty families. But you only have one family, and you're like, how do you reconcile that? You're like, do I still talk to my mom and we hang out because she's my mom, or like, is she a piece of shit and I should just cut her off completely? Because you're gonna have a natural instinct to forgive whatever she did. She's your mom, but the actions she committed were undeniably bad.
So I
Yeah.
think you could still like cut her off, but you can just accept that's what she like. You can just do it from like a place of like peace rather than like anger. You know, like accept that that's how she is. She has unique needs, and she couldn't function in a family.
Yeah, it's tough because she did function in a family. You know, for so long, she was like a good mom. At
Allegedly,
points.
Was
yeah.
she?
Allegedly.
I don't know. She seemed horrible.
No, that's what.
They-
no,
they
the
said
husband
she
said
snapped
she was
a
a
couple
good.
times.
The husband it was kind
He
of an
didn't, dude, he was
NPC.
worthless, man, dude.
Yeah, he had no tea. He could have he should have unloaded on her and you know really shared some. He could have shared the tea. He
Shared
didn't share any
something.
tea.
Play football.
His ex-wife of 12 years showed up, and what did he do? I gotta call my mom, cause she's a graceful lady, you know. He like gathered the clan to like see this woman who abandoned him,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, that's
It's messed up.
the opposite.
And some of
like,
them
processing.
weren't. Who was it? It was like some of them were like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to see her. So
Yeah.
Quinn, you're right. There were some of them that were like, I don't care.
I'm not
About
doing
choice.
this today. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Still, that juxtaposed with like, I just thought it'd be a good idea. We were talking.
the boys, me
The
and the
boys,
boys went to brunch.
She was like, we talk so much that it didn't even feel like I don't see you guys. It's like, dude, I've seen that in real life too. I mean, you know people like that. I'm sure you guys know where it's just a lie.
I
It's a
was
lie.
so busy, like I just couldn't get to it. Like people, yeah,
Yeah, I would not be one of the people showing up that day. I'll tell you that.
yeah, I would not either. But I would tell her. I think I would have choice words with her. I would not be nice.
Well,
Maybe I would be. Who knows?
let's put our thoughts down into numbers, specifically 0.5 through 4
Ooh,
with our
interesting.
report card.
Whoa, these are
Presentation
unique
mode.
categories.
Yeah, unique categories for unique indie film. We got production, we got entertainment value, were you entertained, and emotional impact. 3 brand new ones for you today. I'm not messing around. We are,
Not one,
we're-
not two.
but 3. Speaking of numbers in orders, Patrick, why don't you take us away with production? What are we feeling? What was the production value on here?
I did like some. They had some nice. I did say it was better than the Netflix originals, so I'm gonna go 2.5 stars. It wasn't that wasn't the main point of the movie, but it was done in a way that I felt was fitting. It was creative, but it wasn't overly impressive. But it wasn't. They did a good job with it, but not great.
Yeah. Quinn?
I'm gonna differ a bit. I'm gonna go with 4 stars on production.
Oh
4
wow!
stars.
I
Boom.
thought for home films and a film hobbyist, who I guess is maybe
25 years in the
professional
making,
now.
though, Quinn. They did have 25 years to make it.
They did have a long time.
But they did use 25-year-old film. So there's
That's true, too.
And I would just
29.
thought if I was a solo filmmaker, this would be something I would be very proud to show people. Maybe not. I mean, the other two categories we'll get into, but as far as it all coming together, sound, video, angles, interviewing, I thought it captured as best it could have with the equipment. Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm going to go 3.5. One thing that Pat said when he was talking about production is like I wasn't like blown. I wasn't taken out of my seat and was like the production value on this was absolutely bonkers. But like, yeah, for a home video, for an amateur documentarian, like it felt so professional, you know, like it was a great job, you know, in terms of the film. So the actual production value. So 3.5 there. Entertainment value. Let's switch it up. Go to Quinn.
Jeez, really dropping one on me.
Yeah.
Entertainment value. So,
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm calling mulligan. We're gonna go emotional impact, Quinn.
Oh, emotional impact.
Entertainment value. We're gonna save for last. Yeah.
I'm gonna give emotional impact probably 1 star because
You stole my answer.
it didn't really resonate with myself. I think there were a couple pieces of the puzzle that, you know, I'm a pretty reason-based guy, and I think in order to tell an emotional story, I think you need to do a little bit more investigating or dig deeper dive into some of these stories. You can't just say, "Hey, I had trauma. Hey, I had trauma too."
They didn't push. No one pushed on her.
No one pushed it. No one, and there was no. Again, the anger was missing. I think that's a core human emotion that would come up in these situations, and it didn't. So, 1.
1 star. 1. Patrick.
1. I thought Sam was going to commit suicide when there was like some soft like about 2/3 into the movie. There's some. It was right after he won the ultimate frisbee, whatever, and there was some real like sad kind of dark music, and Reed says, "I thought Sam was like so good at processing all of this, but maybe he was a little too good." And then there was just like this sad, like long kind of thing, but then nothing fucking happened. Like he cheated on his girlfriend and really like, I don't know. It's like
Welcome to the club. I don't
like, dude, like you could have just not liked her that much and didn't know how to break up with her. Like I don't know. Like it's just kind of, I don't know. Yeah, wasn't drawn in. They didn't give me anything to work with. I'm a pretty emotional dude. I like to I shed some tears during movies on many occasions. Maliki man, but this one, no, I was dry as a desert.
Talking about George's birthday being crashed.
Yeah, that was probably the saddest thing. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna give this one 2. I mean, I felt like it was emotional, like, and when you're in a film, maybe like when you're with everyone else, and like, you know, when she does, you know, Joyce says something, everyone in the theater is like, "Whatever happened to that fucking bitch?"
I said,
I said, "Bitch." But yeah, you know, like the emotional impact, like now, as I said for you, you know, lasting impressions, really, it was, yeah, she sucked, you know, she was not a good human being, but I don't know, it wasn't, I wasn't crying, and I just really felt what it really did to me is that, like, I feel like everyone has emotional trauma, and it really was just like a nice memoir into family dynamics and family trauma, which was interesting, but, you know, maybe not that emotionally impactful. And for the final one,
dun dun dun.
Patrick. We're saving Quinn for the absolute last. Patrick, why don't you go with entertainment value 1 out of 4?
1 star.
Or is
I
it
was
half to 4?
Half to 4.
I was considering the half star. I was. Yeah,
Were you not entertained?
I was entertained by texting Quinn. Like that was really my entertainment. This was
Would you have been snickering in the movie theater?
Not if
no,
we could,
'cause
if
I
we
probably
couldn't
wouldn't have-
talk.
Yeah. I don't know. It just
You wouldn't
I
have been
didn't-
whispering each other's ears and laughing.
Maybe a little bit, but I feel like that's just like I don't know. It just I'm not big into like I don't know reality TV. I don't know the family like there wasn't anything going like it just there wasn't a lot for like a story. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
So you
like
wanted more entertainment, more plot, more story, more arc, less.
some character development. Like I don't know. It's just like
But it's real life, you know. You can't control. what's,
real life.
I guess, but it just didn't feel like no one even talked about anything though. Like I know it's real life, but it's just like people were not exploring any ideas. They were just kind of like mumbling and like not sure of themselves.
I felt bad. I mean, I think like
bring up
they were the family was pretty intelligent, especially Reed was like his speech was like maybe he was a little bit on the spectrum or something. Like he was so
Yep.
like overwhelmed by just how hard like and you know he was a little like he's such a caring brother. You can tell. And Sam's like, well, I don't know. I cheat on my girlfriend. He's like, that's probably because it's Joyce.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
And
the
then-
story I was looking for. When like
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna commit suicide, and I thought it was gonna be like super dark, super reflective. Like,
Yeah.
did I like cause this like through trying to create art? But no, it was
Oh.
just like a lame story.
Yeah, he was a little. Rio was a little pestering, like
Yeah.
looking for something. His whole
and he
life.
didn't get
and-
fucking anything, bro. He got nothing. He was trying to squeeze for anything he got, and literally nothing.
And all he did was squeeze his brother dry and make him sad.
Sam's fine, I think. He's
Yeah,
pretty-
no, Sam's
yeah.
cool. So, anyways, we got one. Quinn,
Yeah.
I'm saving you for last.
Okay.
I'm going next. I'm gonna go. I was entertained. So you know, I don't. You guys. I'm gonna go 2.5 here. You guys did not grow up with the film festival. This was a shining success for films.
In terms of
What?
film festival quality.
In terms of entertainment value,
Oh.
yeah, you watch it. Yeah, film festival quality. Most of the
Jeez.
time, you're like, "Fuck, man, I just want to get out of this place. This is horrible. I can't leave the theater." And then you come out and you're like, they give you you rate it 1 out of 4. Actually, they give you little stars, and you're like 1.
Publicly or
So they used to give you this square, and it would have the names the film's name on it, and it would have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would rip it off and give them the square with it ripped off because you're part of people's choice. Like that's how you know, yeah, all of that. So no, now they moved to iPads, so it was more public.
more public.
I think I gave this one. I think I gave this one 3 or 4 stars, though. I liked it a lot. Watching it, I'm telling you guys,
You were dealing with
this
slop
is-
all day.
This was the first film I saw in the film fest. You know, it's pretty good, pretty moving. It's like it's professionally done, and it's well thought through. It's the entertainment value is pretty good. I think it was pretty mid, in a good way, mid in a positive context here. So I'll go 2.5. But Quinn, what do you think?
I gotta
as
go.
someone who lives,
yeah.
someone who lives in LA, who has constant entertainment, you know, flashing in front of him.
Uh-huh.
He can't even close his eyes. You know, he's everywhere he looks. It's just more. You know, he's got there's people
Entertainment
dancing
bam,
on the street.
bam.
There's a pop-up shop outside of
Whoa.
his house with selling Friends merch. There's
It's
the
future.
there's the new Aldi's. I don't know if you guys seen the new Aldidas. Aldi's just dropped some new wear, and they sold out. They're selling out all the stores. There's some Aldi's pop up in LA. Quinn can't turn his eyes away. So he is.
So I got
flowing
everything,
with
yeah.
entertainment. So watching this, Quinn. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with a 1.5 stars. So a little bit in the middle. Um, it wasn't bad. You know, I mean, I rarely turn anything off, and I wasn't gonna turn it off. I didn't even have control over it. I couldn't turn it off. But uh, I think part of its entertainment value is closely tied in with the emotional impact, because as we quickly learned, the mystery was a bust. You know, there wasn't any suspense or kind of plot to drive it forward. So you're kind of relying on these relationships, and I don't know, reality shows kind of gold and super popular because they know what the hell they're doing, man. They get these people in these rooms together and in these situations where people just can't help themselves but say
What's on their mind?
what's on their mind or get in people's face, or like you're like, oh my god, it's very entertaining. It's very dumb and stupid, but very entertaining. And this is a lot of hippy dippy, high level.
Bullshit.
Yes, and I'm not gonna say bullshit, but
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean that.
problem solving, maybe when problems, abstract problems, a lot of healing, becoming better people, family, and yeah, I had more fun texting Pat. I don't know if we had any more zingers.
Singers. Jinx.
Reed was always talking about how his mom was the best. um,
She's like so supportive.
She's like, I have the best mom ever. Like, I can go to her for anything. I'm like Sam, his mom's missing.
Oh my god.
We did a funny thing. Sam kind of turned into Reed. Kind of looked like Reed in the flash forward. His hair got lighter, and he kind of had some facial hair. And Pat said, "This is hard to watch." I was laughing out loud when she was talking about like mend, like it was like one of those
Oh, men?
black dude like question mark memes, like mend.
Mend.
Mends.
Well, what can we use that word, Jared?
Jared,
Are you
can
okay
we?
with that word?
Okay. Okay.
I think it's like
Mend.
a process.
Okay, mend.
So like
Mend.
mend implies something like cause something else, and it's just like our
Problem.
development in a relationship dynamic.
And I don't think of it that way. And
Like when she started talking like that, I was like, she's in a cult. Like that's just like cult speak, you know?
mend.
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 So
And
Mend. Let's say that. Let's say that. Everyone say that together. Mend.
is that the right
yeah,
word?
we don't like that, right? We
No,
don't like that.
no.
No,
No,
it wasn't
No.
really like a
No.
mend. It was something
No.
that had to be done. I had to do it.
It was more like a river where you're just floating down, and you pass a tree and you want to reach out, but the river keeps on flowing. So
And
not
it's-
mend.
Your children are pulling you down into the river, and you're drowning.
You're drowning.
And
You're
you look
drowning.
over, and it's a professor, a handsome,
Mend me.
dashing young professor,
And
he
he's
pulls you
naked.
up by his little schlong.
He says, "Tug on the schlong," and that was my only way onto land was through his schlong.
And it just turned out the land was like Greece, Paris, like great. It was so nice. Trust me, guys.
I mean,
You would have pulled on his schlong too.
that professor is such a huge part. I mean, the more I think about it, like I don't know if she would have even left if she wasn't shacking up with this dude.
I don't know, dude.
And
He was enticing her with.
He didn't seem like a nice cut of meat.
No,
or
wasn't he
whatever.
like a
really
weird?
weird dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what?
Why are you here?
Wasn't it like what he studied? Like some weird, all this symbolic like
It's like
symbols and
Renaissance
shit.
history.
Oh, not as exciting.
No,
No, I
pretty
don't
fucking
think so.
dry, dude. If he's seducing your girl, like she's leaving for anyone.
Wait.
Joyce. So, yeah, I'm a 1.5.
Well, quickly, just because I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I know we just did a little rating, but I'm going to do a speed over under with the IMDb. It is rated 8.4 out of 10 with a whopping 36 votes. 36, you heard me right. 36 votes on 36 on IMDb. Patrick, over under 8.4.
Under.
Under. Quinn, over under 8.4.
Under.
That top
I
250?
did read the reviews. You know, a lot of local newspapers and film festivals put out kind of short blurbs, and they're generally positive. And I was just shaking my head, man. I don't know.
I think it's a positive film. Like for a film, I think
Okay.
it's generally positive. I'm
Maybe
not
I'm
going,
underestimating. Yeah.
I'm not going
what's-
over though, but I'll go
Okay.
under. But yeah, it's a positive. It's a good film. You know, I think for a film fest, it's pretty good.
Do these
Um,
do these film fest films just do they not make sense? Are they just so kind of abstract and artsy, or are they like poorly
some
made?
of them are like that where they just don't make sense. The last one I saw was like a German one, and it was about this lady who was like, she was a therapist, but she was like a doormat in her life. Like everyone walked all
okay.
over her.
She's a literal doormat.
No. Everyone walked all over her in like an unrealistic way where you're like have some boundaries, and the whole thing just gave me anxiety because I'm like, stop doing this. Like, what are you doing? And nothing happened in that film either, except she like maybe learned her lesson after an hour and a half of just like nearly giving me an anxiety attack of just how bad it was. I gave that one a 1 quick. I hated that film.
These
So
are
no, much
full-length
better than
films?
that. Yeah, it was a full length film. So we like to watch the shorts. The shorts is like
Yeah.
good because you know there's like the shorts we watch. I all of them are really good. I'm trying to remember them. Maybe they weren't that memorable, but the like, viewing experience was positive. So yeah, I think you guys. When I was watching it, I was like, oh, thank God I didn't pick like a total bust because I just went off the synopsis. So.
Is that the best
it
movie
could-
you watched that day?
At the film, I think
At
all
the
the
film
films
fest?
I watched, yeah, it was
Wow,
the best one.
Okay.
So,
You were there all
but
day? Yeah.
no, I mean I've only seen like maybe 3
Okay.
in shorts. The shorts were better. The shorts were better than
Okay.
this. Well,
unders.
3 unders. Without further ado, we're gonna spice things up and with a director series where we kind of go down a rabbit hole of multiple movies under a single, directed by a single person, a single director, a spotlight, a director spotlight is what we're doing. And who better to start off, to kick this spotlight series off than Patrick Manning, our next director? Can I hear, where's the reactions? Where's
Oh, that's. Woo! Can we get a cheer in there? Yay!
Thank you. In true director fashion, yes, sir, we're here. We're live. We're in the studio. In true director fashion, well, it is. I think they're all directed by the same dude, but my favorite kind of a series is actually when the films are sequential. So I picked a trilogy. If that is acceptable.
That means 3.
That means 3. So I picked A Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, and then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, that's pretty interesting that you picked.
I think that's a good pick.
Me too.
There
That's
is
a
a problem. Well,
There may have been another series, not too long ago, because I still remember it. Those may have been in the vault somewhere.
G&Q Review did these films.
I looked through the Spotify, did not see them, so that is okay. I
So-
will back
So you may
to
have
the
to
drawing
revisit
board.
this.
We'll take this
Well,
offline.
why did you why did you pick? How did you stumble upon these films? Was it IMDb 250? Have you been wanting to watch this for a while?
Oh no, I was just looking up like I kind of like the idea of a trilogy rather than I don't know because I feel like I couldn't really pick a director. I was kind of looking at some of the more like famous ones. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling super inspired, and I kind of liked my favorite pieces that we
Matrix.
put together was like Matrix. Even like Severance, where it's just like some continuity between the episodes, and you can kind of
Yeah.
like build something. So I was like, that'd be kind of cool. And I really liked the Western that we watched. I forget what it was called, but neither of you guys liked it. And this is like supposed to be actually like, I'm sure you guys liked it. So I was just curious to explore that kind of
Clint Eastwood, right?
genre. Yeah. My parents like Clint Eastwood movies, and I've never really seen any of them. So it was like,
It's a good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth watching. I think we definitely watched two. I don't know if we watched all three,
I
Quinn.
think we did all three.
Okay.
Now
I
that
think
you
we
got
did
me
two.
thinking.
I think we did two, and we said we get the idea. I'm not sure.
okay.
But what do we want to do? This is maybe we.
I think we
tweet
take
out
take it back to
and
the lab,
let's Take it back
hash
to the
it
lab
out.
and Frankenstein it.
Frankenstein it, and then blast all our social media.
Can we promise our viewers with the trilogy, Patrick?
Sure. Yeah.
Make a promise right now.
I will commit a trilogy to all you at home listening.
You hear
I-
that, guys?
It didn't work out this time, but I will fight for you, and we will get you the content you deserve.
Exactly. So not this week with the announcement, but we will post on Instagram. We have a Twitter, maybe. Our Instagram, though, a perfect time for this is our handle is Quarter Life Critics, all one string there. You can find us on Instagram. That's probably where we're most active. So maybe we'll make a story or a post about this trilogy once we figure it out. But we'll do a trilogy for next viewing, and it's going to be Patrick's choice. He's going to lead us through it.
G&Q episode number 16 and 17. Wait, a blast from the past. Find a fistful of dollars, and the other one I just lost.
Did you guys
it.
not do the good, the bad, the ugly?
No,
That's
is that
like
the
the-
first.
No, that's the third one. It's the best one.
I'm not sure. I don't see it because those last two were sequential. So maybe we get there. But from what I could remember, they're not direct sequels, are they?
They're not like
It's a
they're
trilogy.
like thematically. a
thematic.
trilogy,
It's
I
like the
think.
main guy's the same, but he's in a new situation.
Yeah, they're all I think they're all standalone. It's like a
Okay.
Bond. It's like Bond.
The good, the bad, the ugly is number 10 on IMDb, though, just for reference. Top 250.
I don't know why we skipped that one.
We may not have been.
We can. Well,
Yeah.
So you have two. Either Pat, we watch the Good, Bad, the
Yeah.
Ugly, and then Quinn kicks off the triple series, or we pivot and do a trilogy of yours.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you're choosing.
Okay.
You'll have
We'll
to
hash
think
it
about
out.
We'll hash it out.
All right. Well, while we hash that out, we want to thank y'all for watching, for listening. If this is on a podcast app, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, all of them. We're on all of them. Overcast, which is my favorite podcast app. Quinn's coughing. He's choking because he disagreed with Overcast. Anyways, Instagram is our social media. Quarter Life Critics is our handle. We will post there. I'm promising you guys that we'll post when we decide what we're doing in 2 weeks. So thank you again for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed our discussion of Sam Now. I think if you guys are in Ohio, you can still watch it. Go to the Cleveland International.
more days.
Google CIFF, and you'll come to Cleveland International Film Fest. 47 was this year. You should be able to find all the information you need to watch it. It will be $14 to stream it. And I honestly think it's worth your while if you want to watch and support some indie film and indie documentary. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks' time on the 19th of April. Thank you all for listening, and see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.